hate theater. Well, it's so disappointing, isn't it? You know what I do when I'm sitting in a dark theater waiting for the show to begin? I pray. Oh dear God, please let it be a good show. Oh, and let it be short. Oh Lord in heaven, please. 2 hours is fine, 3 hours is too much. Oh, and keep the actors out of the audience, God. I didn't pay good money to have the fourth wall come crashing down around my ears. I just want a show and a few good songs that will take me away. I just want to be entertained. I mean, isn't that the point? Amen. You know, there was a time when people sat in darkened theaters and thought to themselves, what if George and Ira Gershwin got for me tonight? Or Ken Cole Porter pulled it off again. Can you imagine? Well, now it's, oh, please, Elton John, must we continue the charade? It used to be, sitting there in the dark, you knew that when the lights came up, you'd be taken to another world. A world full of color and music and glamour. And you thought to yourselves, my God, when are they going to bring up the lights? Oh, how things have changed. Hello. How are we today? You know, I'm feeling a little blue myself. You know, a little anxious for no particular reason. A little sad that I should feel anxious at this age. You know, a little self-conscious anxiety resulting in non-specific sadness. A state that I call blue. Anyway, whenever I'm feeling this way, blue, I like to listen to my music. So, I was going through my records this morning. Yes, records. And I was going to put on the soundtrack of Meredith Willson's The Music Man. I had a craving for a young Ronnie Howard. But then I said no. Let's have a treat. Let's disappear for a while to the decadent world of the 1920s, where the champagne flowed and while the caviar chilled and all the world was a party. Or for the wealthy, anyway. So I dug about, and what did I find but one of my favorite shows, Gable and Stein's The Drowsy Chaperone. Remember? Music by Julie Gable, lyrics by Cindy Stein. It's a 2-record set, remastered from the original recording made in 1928. It's the full show with the original cast, including Beatrice Stockwell's The Chaperone. Isn't she elegant? You know, this was a full 15 years before she became Dame Beatrice Stockwell. Can you believe it? Let me read to you what it says on the back. It says, mix-ups, mayhem, ooh, and a gay wedding. Well, of course the phrase gay wedding has a different meaning now. But back then it just meant fun. And that's all this show is, fun. Would you indulge me? Would you let me play the record for you tonight? I was hoping you'd say that. You hear that static? I love that sound. To me, it's the sound of a time machine starting up. All right, now, let's visualize. Imagine, if you will, it's November of 1928. You've just arrived at the doors of the Roscoe Theater in New York. It's very cold. Oh, well, remember when it used to be cold in November? Not anymore. November is the new August. Global warming. We're all doomed. Anyway, it's very cold, and there's a heavy gray sleet falling from the sky. But you don't care, because you're going to see a Broadway show. Listen. Isn't this wonderful? Overtures. Overtures are out of style now. I miss them. It's a show's way of welcoming you. Hello, welcome. The meal will be served shortly, but in the meantime, would you like an appetizer? Well, that's what an overture is, an appetizer. A poo-poo platter of tunes, if you will. something new. I wonder what it could be. Sounds like a dance tune, kind of frolicking. Maybe involving pirates. Oh, just kidding, there are no pirates. Now, this is it. The moment when the music begins to build, and you know you're only seconds away from being transported. Curtains going up. I can't wait.
Yes, ma'am.
How do I look?
You look radiant, Miss Tondale.
I do love this dress, though. It never comes out of style.
It's a miracle, madam.
My dress, my fancy dress. I don't know why I'm wearing it, I must confess. My dress, I love my dress. Would someone tell me why I put it on?
Yes, your dress, your fancy dress. It's such a pleasure airing it, restitching and repairing it. God bless your dress, your fancy dress. And I will tell you why you put it on. Wedding comes a ring, wedding comes a charm. Madam, you're a horse, it's happy wedding time.
Wedding bells will ding, wedding bells will call. Wedding bells will ding-a-ling and we will ding along. Your dress, your fancy dress. I'm very, very glad you put it on.
Wedding guests have come.
Wedding guests are here. Wedding guests are at the door and soon they will appear.
I'm Robert, the bridegroom. I'm here to marry Janet. Let's star of Felsick's Follies, whom I love a lot.
I'm George, that's George, his best man, George. I'm honored to be doing what a best man ought. Ah, Mrs. Tottendale, and don't you worry, I have this whole wedding planned out. The key is organization, you see. Pay the musicians, yell at the force, and book the minister. I have this whole wedding planned out.
Oh, there's gonna be a wedding?
Producer, I lost my leading lady. I gotta stop this wedding or I might get shot.
I'm King, just kidding. I came with Mr. Felsick. I'll be a leading lady if I get my shot.
We're pastry chefs, we cross our hearts, we're pastry chefs, no bakery. Yeah, bakery is what we got.
D'enfant, my name is Désert d'enfant. I am the king of romance, so I kiss a lot.
You are the king of romance, so you kiss a lot. Wedding bells will ring, wedding bells will chime, wedding bells will celebrate a happy wedding time. Someone hasn't come,
Someone isn't here.
where is Janet Vanderbilt and when will she appear? It's Janet, it's Janet, it's Janet Vanderbilt.
My Janet Vanderbilt, in a merry loving heart, giving out the life of glamour to silent night. Am I late? I'm the chaperone of Janet Vanderbilt, maid of honor, friend and confidant, and all that runs. First the bar.
harried producer, the jovial gangsters posing as pastry chefs, flaky Corey, Latin Lothario, and an aviatrix. Oh, and I almost forgot my favorite character, the drowsy chaperone. What more do you need for an evening's entertainment? Wasn't that wonderful? And we will ding along. I don't even know what that means. Now, I'll guide you through this record the best I can. Don't worry, it won't be hard to follow. And we begin with a welcome from the love-struck group.
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming. I must be some lucky fellow. I mean, who would have thought that I, Robert Morton, would be marrying a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up a successful career for me, Robert Morton. Now, if it weren't for Prohibition, I'd say, let's raise a glass.
Here, here.
To Miss Janet Van de Graaff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Absolutely not.
Excuse me?
The groom mustn't see his bride on the day of the wedding. It's bad luck.
Well, I hope you heard that, because that's the plot. Basically. Hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, it's a little early in the day to be drinking, isn't it?
I don't understand the question.
Look, you just keep Janet away from Robert, you understand? You're the chaperone, it's your only job.
I'm on Capitan.
Oh, Robert, who's my little monkey?
I'm a little monkey.
Oh, Robert.
So, with the bride and groom whisked away, we turn our attention to the B-plot, which involves the producer.
Mr. Feltig.
Getting married, living show business.
Mr. Feltig.
Don't she know I got obligations?
Mr. Feltig. I can be a lead lady. You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kid, for the last time, you don't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet?
Yeah, I'm pretty good too. Last week, I auditioned for Swanee Lake.
A little annotation. Kitty and Feldzig were a couple in real life, Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, it's a familiar comic construct. A stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Well, at least she appears stupid, but in the end, she does something clever that makes everyone else wonder if it was all just an act. The irony here is that Sadie was actually quite stupid. Jack had to explain all of the jokes to her, apparently. But she had a wonderful career on the stage. Now, you see, at that time, the theater was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. This was before television, of course.
Kid, I don't have time for this.
T4, Mr. Feldzig.
Not now.
Perhaps an ice federal.
Boys, I'm not hungry.
Then perhaps we can give you something else to chew on.
Yeah, something that's not food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Although we stand here before you in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also, and primarily, employees of a certain individual.
A certain individual.
A certain individual.
Who happens to be the largest single investor in Feldzig's Follies. He has sent us here
As pastry chefs.
to express his concern on Miss Van de Graaff's impending nuptials.
Specifically.
That if she gets married and leaves the show,
Then there ain't no show.
Hey. Don't I know you?
No, you don't.
Have you ever spent any time in Toledo?
have you ever spent any time in a coma?
No. But I got a cousin in Seattle.
Kitty. Boys, you tell your boss this wedding's never gonna happen.
Oh.
You have my word.
We'll take your word, all right.
But to go back on that word would mean a recipe for disaster. Now, we have made ourselves perfectly eclair.
One can only hope.
You just gotta be kidding me.
A trifle much?
Don't talk with me.
Okay, boys, and then drop the pastry chef routine.
Alas, we ganache.
We're on the lamb.
Lamb's an entree, macaroon.
The gangsters were played by interchangeable vaudeville duo, the Tall Brothers, John and Peter Tall. Well, they were born Abram and Mendel Moslaskowitz, but were renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. You see, they're an early example of the typical Broadway gangster, full of wordplay and stylized movements. Not very intimidating, though. Unless you find dancers intimidating. Well, which I do, but for reasons that would not be appropriate to the situation.
We'll leave the matter in your hands, Mr. Feltic. In the meantime, feel free to browse the dessert carousel.
Try the Toledo surprise.
It's to die for.
Holy cats, Mr. Felty, they're gangsters!
Very perceptive. Now, go powder your face. I've got to stop this wedding. But how? Oh, Lord in heaven, how? How?
I always thought that moment was a little overplayed. Now, with the story well on its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me them pearly whites.
Ooh, the groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He was the Albright toothpaste man. His fabulous smile adored every tooth. Now, you see, Albright was hugely popular in the early 20s because it had contained cocaine. Well, yes, it's true. If you looked at the label, it was the 5th ingredient down, right after sugar. Anyway, it wasn't too long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now, don't you worry. It's perfectly normal for a groom to be nervous on his wedding day. It is? Of course.
Now, some people say that Percy Hyman was a terrible actor, but to those people I say, shut up.
Hey there, Mr. Mirrorman, shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them freedy cats do. Something, baby, bothering you. Cold feet, brother, you got cold feet. You can make them cold feet hot with a little rhythm. Young feet, old feet, can be uncontrolled feet. Will make them cold feet trot down the aisle. Frosty arches that you learn to swing. Icy toes can jive. Wedding marches played in ragtime swing. Make frigid souls come alive. And you take that dive. Cold feet, small feet. Turn them into ball feet. We'll make them cold feet.
Oh, you don't say. But only to slide back in your hole, you backstabbing worm. Well, I guess we have to find a new minister. Say, what are you up to?
Oh, I'm just singing old Dixie Remedy. The old man taught me for wedding day jitters.
You think you've got yours? You're the easy part. I still got your rice, boutonnieres, and a minister. I have the weight of the wedding on my shoulders.
George, it sounds to me like you've got cold feet.
What do I got?
Cold feet.
What do I want?
Cold feet.
What do I do? Skull feet?
No! Make the cold feet. 6, 7, 8. Cold feet. Cold feet. Turn them into cold feet. Swim with them cold feet. Out.
Make the cold feet hot.
Percy Hyman was a wonderful performer. He's still alive, you know. I saw him on the news recently celebrating his 100th birthday. To say that the passing years have taken their toll on him would be a grotesque understatement. They wheeled him out and he had this wide-eyed look of pain and confusion. The one that God reserves for the very, very old on their birthdays. You know, the one that says, who are you, who am I, and why is this cake on fire? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway.
All right. Enough of that. Dancing around like a fool.
I'm sorry, George. I was just trying to calm my nerves. It is my wedding day, after all.
Well, you could have snapped an ankle. Tap dancing is far too dangerous. Why don't you go out for a steam instead? That's what I do to blow off some steam.
George, what would I do without you?
Wait. What am I thinking? No. You can't go out like that. You might see Janet. Here, put on this blindfold.
George, you think of everything.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm just watching out for you, my boy. That one. All right, now remember, no more tap dancing.
Just ignore it. It does this occasionally. It rings. It'll stop soon. Just ignore it. What? What do you want?
Hello. You have reached my answer machine. Leave short message after the tone, and I'll call you back at my convenience.
Well, that's it. The moment's ruined. Thank you. Thank you, life. It's like a cell phone going off in a theater. God, I hate that. Hello, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just in a theater right now, ruining the moment. What about you? Oh, I couldn't get out tonight, so I thought I'd ruin the moment by proxy. Sorry. Let's shake that off. Let's go back in our minds to 1928. They didn't have cell phones in 1928, but I'm sure they had something for the ruining of moments. Bugles or something.
A happy wedding time.
So, the scene shifts, and we find the bride, the glamorous Janet Vandegraff, as she entertains questions from reporters while she lounges by the pool.
Miss Vandergraff, is it true you're giving up a successful career to marry a man you hardly know?
Yes. Robert and I met on the leader deck of the Aldi France. He amused me with stories of his father's oil interests. We spooned, briefly, and then he proposed.
So you'll never be returning to the stage? Ever?
I shan't.
You shan't?
I shan't.
Can we quote you on that?
Of course. One more question? Yes.
Why in the world would anyone put olives in a Gibson?
I got a question. could you give up the footlights when you know very well you got grease paint in your veins?